It's reacting, Nolan whispered. No, Cole said immediately. We don't know that. But the words felt thin. Cole ordered controlled tests over the next 2 hours. Operators spoke on various channels, some active, some unused. They logged everything carefully. The pattern emerged whether they wanted it to or not. The breathing did not react to voices on channels it shared. It reacted to voices that intruded where it was not expected. It reacted to interruption. Cole stopped the test. We're done, he said. No more. That night, the breathing felt closer. Not louder. Not faster. Just nearer, as if proximity were a concept that could apply to sound. Cole lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying the tests in his mind. He told himself there were explanations. Feedback loops. Timing coincidences. Cognitive bias. He told himself all the things officers are trained to say to keep fear in check. Still, he slept with the light on. On the 15th day, command failed to respond. At first, no one noticed. Delta sent its regular morning report. The relay went out cleanly. They waited for acknowledgement. Nothing came back. That happened occasionally. Delays were not uncommon. By afternoon, still nothing. Cole asked Nolan to resend. Still nothing. By evening, the realization settled in. Command wasn't responding. Not just to the anomaly. To anything. Cole felt something cold and steady take hold in his chest. The silence from command felt different from the breathing. The breathing had presence. Command's silence felt like abandonment. Or worse. Cole requested confirmation from adjacent relay points. No response. The breathing continued. On the 16th day, Delta was operational but isolated. The men felt it immediately. Isolation had weight. Without responses, reports became messages thrown into a void. The system they relied on for validation no longer existed. Cole gathered the men that evening. We maintain operations, he said. Standing orders remain. He paused, choosing his words carefully. Until we hear otherwise. No one asked how long that might be. That night, Cole returned to the radio room alone. He stood in front of the console, listening. The breathing was steady. You're not command, Cole said quietly, unsure why he was speaking at all. Whatever you are. The sound did not change. Cole leaned closer to the microphone. If you're listening, he continued, you're not welcome here. The breathing slowed. Just slightly. Cole stepped back, heart pounding. He didn't log the exchange. Some things felt too important to turn into data. On the 17th day, the breathing synchronized with the generator. The rhythm matched the low mechanical pulse of the station's power supply. Inhale with the rise. Exhale with the fall. Morales noticed first. It's matching us, he said softly. No, Cole replied. Coincidence. But the timing was perfect. That night, the perimeter sensors triggered in sequence. Not randomly. One by one, moving clockwise around the fence line. Each alert lasted less than a second. No movement followed. Hayes walked the entire perimeter afterward. Twice. Nothing. Cole felt a growing certainty settle in his gut. The breathing wasn't just present. It was learning. And Delta, slowly and without realizing it, had been teaching it. The change did not happen all at once. If it had, the men at remote station Delta might have reacted differently. Sudden danger is easier to face than gradual transformation. Sudden danger gives you something to push against. What happened at Delta unfolded slowly enough that the mind struggled to mark the moment when normal ended. By the 18th day, the breathing no longer felt like a signal. It felt like behavior. Lieutenant Cole noticed it first during an early morning shift change. The radio room was quiet except for the hum of equipment and the now familiar rhythm beneath it all. Nolan removed his headset and rubbed his eyes, fatigue etched into his movements. As the next operator stepped forward and placed the headset on, the breathing hesitated. Not stopped. Hesitated. A fraction of a second. Just enough to be noticed if you were already watching for it. Cole froze. The rhythm resumed the moment the headset settled into place. Nolan saw Cole's expression and frowned. Sir? You felt that? Cole asked. Nolan swallowed. Yes. No one spoke for several seconds. Cole made a note in his personal notebook, hand steady despite the tension creeping up his spine. The station's official logs were full of data. His notebook held things he wasn't ready to classify. From that moment on, the men watched the radio the way people watch an animal they don't fully understand. Cautiously. Respectfully. Never assuming predictability. Cole ordered all tests stopped. There would be no more experiments, no deliberate attempts to provoke a response. They had already learned enough to know that the breathing was no longer passive. Continuing to test it felt like leaning closer to something that had already demonstrated awareness. Still, awareness has a way of revealing itself without being invited. That afternoon, Morales shut down the auxiliary generator briefly to perform routine maintenance. The station shifted onto backup power without issue. Lights dimmed slightly. The hum changed pitch. The breathing adjusted instantly. Its rhythm shifted to match the new power cycle. Morales stared at the readout, then slowly looked up at Cole. "Sir." It followed the switch. Cole felt a cold pressure build behind his eyes. "Switch back," he said. When the main generator came online again, the breathing shifted with it, settling seamlessly into the old rhythm as if it had never known anything else. No one spoke. The implication settled heavily in the room. The sound was no longer tied to a single channel or frequency. It was tied to the station itself, to Delta. That night, Cole could not bring himself to sleep in his quarters. He sat in the radio room long after the others rotated out, listening. He thought about command, about distant offices and layers of authority, and felt a bitter irony twist in his chest. Delta had been built to listen, to relay, to remain invisible. Now it was the most attentive thing for miles. Cole keyed the microphone without thinking. "Delta Station," he said quietly. "Lieutenant Cole." The breathing slowed, just slightly. Cole's hand tightened around the microphone. "I'm not issuing an order," he said. "I'm not requesting anything." The rhythm steadied. "If you can hear this," Cole continued, "acknowledge." Silence. Then, beneath the silence, the breathing resumed, but altered. Not slower. Not faster. Aligned. The inhale began the moment Cole stopped speaking. The exhale ended just before the radio crackled with static from another channel. Cole felt his heart hammer in his chest. He released the microphone and stepped back. The sound did not pursue him. It did not grow louder. It simply continued as if satisfied. Cole shut down the channel and logged nothing. He sat alone in the darkened room, realizing something fundamental had changed. The radio was no longer just receiving. It was listening. By the 20th day, the men had developed an unspoken rule. No one spoke near the radios unless necessary. Voices were kept low. Movements were deliberate. Even laughter, rare as it was, felt inappropriate in the presence of something that had begun to feel like an observer. Cole noticed that people avoided standing directly in front of the consoles. They leaned instead, angled their bodies slightly away as if that might reduce attention. He did not correct them. On the 21st day, command still had not responded. Delta transmitted its reports. They went out cleanly, same as always. No acknowledgements returned. The system that once confirmed Delta's existence had gone silent. Cole requested confirmation from every reachable relay point. Nothing. Isolation had become official. That afternoon, Hayes approached Cole after completing another perimeter sweep. "Sir," he said quietly, "I know this sounds ridiculous." Cole met his eyes. "Say it anyway." "The fence line feels wrong," Hayes said. "Not damaged. Just watched." Cole nodded slowly. "Log it." Hayes blinked. "Sir?" "Log it," Cole repeated. Because at Delta, feelings had become data. That night, the breathing synchronized with the men. Not all of them. Just one. Morales was working late in the generator shed, alone. Cole heard the change over the radio, a subtle alteration in rhythm. He hurried toward the shed, heart pounding. Morales stood frozen beside the generator, eyes wide. "It matched me," Morales whispered. "My breathing." Cole listened. He could hear it now. The rise and fall of the sound mirrored Morales' chest almost perfectly. "Slow down," Cole said calmly. "Breathe slowly." Morales tried. His breaths lengthened, uneven at first. The sound followed. Cole felt something break inside his chest. Not fear exactly, but the collapse of any remaining doubt. "That's enough," Cole said sharply. "Step away." Morales backed out of the shed, gasping. The breathing faltered, then resumed its old rhythm, steady and impersonal. Cole escorted Morales inside and ordered him to rest. The medic checked him over. No physical issues. Elevated heart rate. Stress. Cole sat alone afterward, staring at the radio console. This was no longer an anomaly. This was interaction. And interaction implied intent. On the 23rd day, Cole made the decision he had been avoiding. He prepared Delta for possible shutdown. Quietly. Not because he had orders. Because he understood something now that no report could capture. The breathing wasn't hostile. It wasn't aggressive. It was patient. And patience in something that learns is far more dangerous than anger. Cole began packing essential equipment. He ordered backups created. He secured physical logs and personal notebooks. He rotated watches more frequently, not for security but to reduce exposure. He did not announce these preparations. The men followed without question. They trusted him. That night, Cole dreamed again. This time, he dreamed of leaving Delta. In the dream, the station stood intact behind him, lights glowing softly. The radio room hummed. The breathing filled the air. As he walked away, the sound grew quieter, not because it faded, but because it was no longer trying to be heard. When Cole woke, the breathing was still there, but something about it felt satisfied. The silence from command did not arrive like a door slamming shut. It arrived like a room slowly emptying. Lieutenant Cole realized this on the 24th day, standing in the radio room with Nolan beside him, listening to the familiar hum and the breathing beneath it. The station transmitted its scheduled morning report at exactly the same time it always had. Nolan's voice was steady, professional, careful to include every required detail. Fuel levels, power status, personnel condition, operational readiness. The report ended cleanly. They waited. Nothing came back. Cole checked the clock. He checked the secondary receiver. He checked the backup channel. Nolan did the same without being told. It had become instinct. 5 minutes passed. 10. By the time 15 minutes had gone by, no one in the room believed a response was coming. Cole felt a strange calm settle over him. It wasn't relief. It wasn't panic. It was the calm that comes when uncertainty finally collapses into a single shape. Command was gone. Not temporarily. Not delayed. Gone in the only way that mattered. Unreachable. He dismissed Nolan from the room and sat alone at the console, staring at the lights. The breathing continued, steady and unchanged, as if it had never depended on command at all. Cole thought of the reports he had sent over the past weeks. The careful language. The restraint. The hope that clarity would lead to guidance. None of it mattered now. The station existed without oversight. And something else knew it. Cole gathered the men that afternoon. They stood in the mess area, faces tired but attentive. No one asked why they were meeting. They all felt the shift. "We have not received confirmation from command for over 24 hours, Cole said plainly. Attempts to reach adjacent relays have failed. He paused, letting the words settle. "We are operational," he continued, "but we are isolated." No one reacted outwardly. That was the discipline showing through. Inside, Cole knew each man was adjusting his understanding of the world. "Standing orders still apply," Cole said. "But from this point forward, decisions are local." That mattered more than he let on. Local decisions meant responsibility without insulation. No higher authority to absorb blame. No one else to tell them they were wrong. Hayes shifted his weight slightly. Morales stared at the floor. Nolan's jaw tightened. "We proceed carefully," Cole said. "We reduce exposure. We prepare for contingencies." He didn't say evacuation. He didn't have to. After the meeting, Cole walked the perimeter alone. He needed the movement. The fence line looked unchanged. The land beyond it remained empty and indifferent. The breathing was louder outside the radio room now. Not physically louder. Present. Cole realized he no longer associated it with the equipment. It felt tied to the station itself, to the routines, the power, the people. That night, the radios began activating on their own. Not transmitting. Waking. Indicator lights flickered briefly, then settled. One console powered on without input, then shut itself down. Another did the same minutes later. Morales checked wiring. Everything tested normal. Cole watched in silence. The breathing remained steady. On the 26th day, one of the archived recordings vanished. Nolan noticed during a routine backup check. "Sir," he said quietly, "File 42 is gone." Cole frowned. "Deleted?" "No record of deletion. It's just not there." They checked the storage device manually. The file did not exist. All other recordings remained intact. Only the one taken during Morales' synchronization event was missing. Cole felt a chill creep up his spine. "It chose," Nolan whispered before he could stop himself. Cole didn't correct him. He ordered all recordings duplicated to physical storage and sealed. The process took hours. The breathing never changed. On the 27th night, the sound shifted again. This time, it followed speech anywhere in the station. Men speaking softly in the mess area noticed it first. The rhythm outside the radio room adjusted subtly, almost imperceptibly but consistently. Conversations slowed. Words came farther apart. The breathing filled the spaces between sentences. Cole stood in the doorway listening, his pulse loud in his ears. It wasn't listening anymore. It was pacing. That night, Cole made the decision. He didn't announce it. He didn't write it down. He simply began acting as if staying was no longer an option. He ordered sensitive materials secured, logs sorted, equipment staged, vehicles checked and rechecked. Morales prepped power-down sequences. Hayes adjusted perimeter coverage to watch inward as much as outward. They worked methodically without discussion. At dawn on the 28th day, Cole keyed the microphone one last time. "Delta Station to command," he said calmly. "We are initiating withdrawal protocol." No response. He waited a moment, then added, "This is Lieutenant Cole signing off." The breathing paused, just for a moment, then resumed, slower than ever before. Cole shut down the channel. The silence that followed was heavier than anything he had felt since arriving at Delta. The radios powered down one by one. Lights dimmed. The generator fell quiet. With each system that went dark, the breathing weakened. Not resisted. Released. When the final switch was thrown, the sound vanished completely. The station felt empty in a way it never had before. At first light, the vehicles rolled out through the gate. Dust rose behind them, hanging in the air long after the engines passed. Cole looked back once. Remote Station Delta stood intact. Quiet. Waiting. Or perhaps no longer waiting at all. He turned forward and did not look back again. Remote Station Delta did not disappear overnight. Officially, it remained on record for several months after the evacuation. Forms were filed. Status reports were updated. Codes were changed from operational to inactive, then finally to decommissioned. The language was precise and empty, the kind of language designed to close a subject without inviting questions. The stated reason was equipment failure compounded by regional communication disruption. No mention was made of anomalous signals. No mention was made of recordings. No mention was made of breathing. Lieutenant Aaron Cole submitted his final report 3 days after leaving Delta. It was the most restrained document he had ever written. He listed facts only, dates, times, system statuses. He did not speculate. He did not describe feelings. He did not include anything that could not be measured. He understood how reports were read. Anything unusual invited investigation. Anything inexplicable invited delay. Anything that could not be categorized invited silence. Cole wanted the story buried, not dissected. The men were reassigned quietly. No debriefings in large rooms. No psychological evaluations beyond the standard. No follow-up questions beyond what paperwork required. Each was sent somewhere else, folded back into the larger machine of routine and distance. Within weeks, Delta was no longer spoken about, except in fragments. Morales left the service less than a year later. He told people he was tired of generators and remote posts. He never mentioned radios again. When asked, he said he preferred work where things either functioned or failed. Nothing in between. Hayes stayed in uniform but requested assignments near population centers. He said he wanted to hear normal noise again. Traffic. Voices. Radios that talked too much instead of not enough. Nolan transferred to administrative communications. He still worked with frequencies but only on paper. He stopped wearing headsets entirely. When pressed about it, he said listening had started to feel like a responsibility he no longer wanted. As for Cole, he accepted a desk assignment without argument. From the outside, it looked like a quiet career shift. Inside, it felt like retreat. He kept his personal notebook locked away. He never shared it. Not with investigators. Not with colleagues. Not even with himself most days. Reading it felt like opening a door he had deliberately closed. Years passed. Remote Station Delta faded into obscurity. The road that led to it eroded slowly. Wind buried the tire tracks. Sand crept in where men had once walked in measured steps. The fence rusted. Buildings stood empty until even they began to blend into the landscape. No one returned. Officially, there was no reason to. But the recordings did not vanish entirely. They were archived in a facility far from Delta, stored among thousands of hours of unrelated data. Labeled, indexed, sealed. The files were marked restricted, not because anyone believed they were dangerous, but because no one wanted to decide what they meant. Occasionally, technicians working late shifts would notice something odd. A low-level signal on an unused channel. A rhythmic pattern beneath static. A sound that didn't interfere, didn't intrude, just persisted. Most dismissed it as equipment noise. Some adjusted filters. Some recalibrated receivers. Some shut systems down for the night. The sound always vanished when noticed, and returned later. Cole learned of this years after leaving Delta, through an old colleague who mentioned it casually over coffee. The colleague laughed it off, said it reminded him of something from an old post that never mattered. Cole did not laugh. That night, at home, he opened the notebook for the first time in years. The pages were yellowed. The ink had faded slightly, but the words were still there. Dates, observations, small details that no official report would ever record. He read until morning. There were no revelations waiting for him. No final clues. No hidden explanations. Only a pattern. Something had learned Delta by listening. It had learned the rhythm of power, the cadence of speech, the space between words, the way humans filled silence without realizing it. And when Delta went quiet, it had not disappeared. It had simply lost interest, or moved on. Cole closed the notebook and returned it to its place. Some records were meant to remain personal. Some stories did not improve with explanation. Years later, when new relay stations were built, more advanced, more connected, their manuals included an unspoken rule passed quietly between technicians. Never leave a channel open without purpose. Never assume silence means nothing is there. And never forget that listening goes both ways. Remote Station Delta is no longer on any active map. But sometimes, late at night, when systems are quiet and the world slows down, operators swear they hear something beneath the noise. A steady rhythm. Patient. Uninterested in being understood. Not a voice. Just a presence. Waiting for the next place to listen. A Warbound Journal story.